Hello everyone, my name is Cameron Provost. Welcome to the technical deep dive of my Capstone project, Building Resilience, a free ransomware training solution for small businesses. In this presentation, I'll walk you through the tools I used, how the system was built, the challenges I faced, and how the final project is structured for both users and future developers. At a high level, the goal of my project was to create a free, offline-capable, mobile-friendly cybersecurity training platform. It specifically targets small businesses that may not have technical resources. Employees can download simple training modules, open them in a web browser, and immediately start learning about ransomware prevention without needing any additional software. To build the modules, I chose to use Adobe Captivate, a learning tool for creating e-learning content. Captivate allows you to build interactive lessons that support text, images, embed videos, and quizzes. It exports projects into HTML5 format, which means they can be opened directly in the web browser and don't require a live server or any installation. Now let's talk about why I specifically chose Adobe Captivate for this project. First off, I needed a platform that could export clean, reliable HTML5 content. I knew users wanted to run training modules without needing a complex server or learning management systems. Captivate made that possible. Another important factor was multimedia support. I wanted the ability to blend text, images, video demonstrations, and quizzes seamlessly all inside one self-contained environment. Captivate also offered responsive design capabilities. This means the modules automatically adjust their layout for desktops, tablets, and smartphones, making these modules accessible on any devices. Finally, using Captivate allowed me to keep everything self-paced. Learners can complete training at their own speed without needing external tracking or progress management, unless a business later decides to integrate the modules into a formal learning management system. One of the more crucial parts of this project was how I translated technical cybersecurity research into language that non-technical users could easily understand. I started by gathering reports from respected sources. These reports were packed with valuable insights, but they often use highly technical terms, statistics, and threat models. I translated these findings by focusing on practical examples and real-world scenarios. For example, instead of discussing complex phishing details, I explained it in terms of how to spot a suspicious link or what real phishing emails will look like. The idea was not to simplify the importance of the threat, but simplify the presentation of it. This careful balance was critical because if employees don't understand the material, they won't know how to apply it in real-world situations. Testing was a critical part of making sure the platform truly worked for real-world small business employees. I worked with a local business and conducted rounds of testing with a strong focus on usability and comprehension. After each round of feedback, I made specific improvements. First, I adjusted the language used in the modules based on what users found confusing. I simplified technical terms and even added more plain language definitions and real-world examples to make the concepts easier to grasp. I also worked on the pacing of the information. Some sections originally felt too long or too dense, so I split lessons into smaller, more digestible pieces and shortened or expanded parts where necessary to better match attention spans. I reviewed the quizzes, reducing their length slightly and rewording questions to be clearer, while still keeping them challenging enough to reinforce learning effectively. I also optimized the layout and formatting for multiple devices, ensuring that navigation buttons and text flowed smoothly whether the viewer used a desktop, tablet, or smartphone. This meant redesigning some screens and repositioning navigation elements to suit smaller displays. Through this iterative process of testing and refining, I was able to create effective, employee-friendly training modules that real users could understand easily and use confidently in a small business environment. The end result was a much stronger, more accessible training experience, one that met the needs of actual non-technical employees. Once finalized, I uploaded the modules to GitHub to make them freely available. You can find them here at my repository, github.com/cameronprovost/capstone. Each training module is organized into its own zip file. To use them, you simply download the zip file, extract the folder onto your device, and open the file called index.html within that folder. There's no installation, no accounts, no special browser plugins. This approach ensures maximum accessibility and flexibility, even for businesses with low bandwidth or limited technical support. They can easily deploy the training into their workplace. Now, let's take a closer look inside one of the downloaded training module folders after you download and extract the file. After extracting the zip file, you'll find these main components. Index.html, this is the main launch file. Double-clicking it opens the training module directly into your web browser, giving users access to all lessons, videos, and quizzes. Assets, this folder contains all the images, audio, and video files used throughout the module. It keeps all the multimedia content organized and linked properly. DR, this is the dependency runtime folder. It includes JavaScript and CSS libraries that control navigation behaviors, slide transitions, and animations inside the module. VR, this is the viewer runtime folder. It ensures that the module is mobile responsive, meaning it automatically adapts to fit screens of different sizes, whether the user is viewing it on a phone, tablet, or a desktop computer. At this time, the release train modules are designed for standalone use and do not include SCORM packaging or learning management integration files. However, in the future, I am planning to release updated versions that will include full SCORM support. This will allow businesses to use the learning management systems and track their users' progress, monitor quiz scores, and automate reporting inside their existing learning management system environments if they have one. Keeping this current simple structure ensures that the modules are accessible to any organization today, while providing room to expand functionality down the line for businesses that wish to do so. Running the module is extremely simple. After extracting the folder, you just open the index.html file in your preferred web browser. This loads the modules and allows users to start navigating through to learn important information. Navigation is simple. Use the next and back arrows to move along the slides. Content includes text lessons, case studies, and knowledge checks. At the end of each module, there's a quiz designed to check the user's understanding. The quiz offers instant feedback so users immediately know whether they understood the material. If users make mistakes, the system offers a review function that highlights the correct answers and links back to relevant content. The entire experience is optimized for mobile as well. If users open it on a smartphone or a tablet, the layout dynamically adjusts to fit that device. At the end of each training module, there is a conclusion slide that goes over the different topics discussed and what users learn from this specific module. Building the system wasn't without its challenges. The biggest technical hurdle was ensuring that everything worked offline. Captivate modules typically assume that they're hosted on a server, so I had to ensure that all links, media, and scripts use relative paths rather than absolute URLs. Another challenge was cross-browser compatibility. Browsers like Chrome, Firefox, and Edge all interpret local HTML slightly differently, so I conducted manual testing across all major browsers, as well as iOS and Android mobile browsers. There were a few issues like font rendering inconsistencies, but by adjusting settings and manually editing the exported files, I was able to achieve broad compatibility across all platforms. Reflecting on the technical side of this capstone, I'm proud to say that I was able to create a training platform that small businesses can actually use without needing technical knowledge, subscriptions, or internet access. The architecture is highly scalable. I could easily add new modules or even repackage these modules into a learning management system later. Most importantly, this project shows that by combining smart technical choices with user-focused design, it's possible to close major cybersecurity awareness gaps at minimal cost that is available to small businesses. Before we close, I want to quickly summarize the major points of this technical deep dive. First, the overall goal of this project was to build a free, offline-capable ransomware training platform that could realistically be deployed by small businesses without technical IT support. I developed the training modules using Adobe Captivate and exported them as standalone HTML5 packages, allowing for easy browser-based access across devices. Throughout the project, I put a major emphasis on training complex cybersecurity research into practical, understandable lessons for non-technical users. I also conducted multiple rounds of testing with actual employees from a small local business, refining the content, pacing, layout, and quizzes based on the real-world feedback. The modules are now publicly available on GitHub, where users can easily download, extract, and start learning with minimal setup. You can test out these modules for yourself by downloading the files from my GitHub on any device and run them locally without any other installation. I kept the file structure simple and clean, ensuring offline compatibility, mobile responsiveness, and planned ahead for scalability. Looking forward, I plan to release SCORM-enabled versions to allow learning management system integration for businesses that want to formally track the learning progress of their employees. Overall, this project shows that effective cybersecurity education can be delivered without complexity, making security awareness accessible to the organizations that need it the most. Thank you so much for exploring this technical deep dive with me. I appreciate all of your time and attention. If you have any questions about the platform, the technical setup, or future expansion ideas, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to discuss any questions with you. Thank you.